My name is Joanthan Cheng, and this is my road to nationals. I started doing triathlons because my friend Yasua came up to me one day and he was like, "Hey, I got this crazy idea. Well, what if we do a triathlon?" I'm like, "Why would you want to do that?" He's like, I kind of want to get into shape, you know? I was like, at first I didn't want to do it. And then I thought about it for a little while, and I had background in swimming when I was younger. I ran a lot and I loved biking, and I was like, well, I just give it a go. So that's how I started. I do triathlons because that's the sport where I could truly push my limits, you know. You're doing three different sports, and when you transition to each one, you have to make sure you're physically and mentally prepared for the next step. And that, for me, really challenges my mental ability and physical ability like no other sport that I've ever done before. And I think that's what really drives me to do triathlons. I'll wake up earlier in the morning, maybe like 6 o'clock, either get usually a bike ride in or run. Swimming, on the other hand, is a sport that I feel like I'm okay with, I'm comfortable with doing, so I don't spend as much time in the pool as I would like to. In the weekends, I would put in a long run or a long bike closer to the race distance, because during the week I just don't have time to do such a long distance. I qualified for the age group nationals in Omaha this year, and I qualified through a local race in St. Petersburg called Fort Solar Series, and there's 3 in the series, and I did the last one. And I just went in because I had the half Ironman in Miami a couple months later, and I got an email saying I qualified for age group nationals, and I was so surprised because I didn't even know you could qualify for nationals through that race. Yeah, I'll be doing a triathlon this weekend, St. Anthony's Triathlon. That's the first one Joshua and I did, and I'll be doing a second time this year. And that will be for me to gauge where my training is at before I start training harder for nationals during the summer. And hopefully I'll do well this year. We're going to the St. Pete Running Company. Shoes are important when it comes to triathlon, and I go through a pair of shoes every couple of months just because of how many miles I put into it. Okay, so this is a Cervelo P2. It's a really small frame just because I'm such a short guy. I added a lot of components to it, so here I usually have an aerodynamic bottle. Here is just for all my nutrition, my gels, the salt electrolytes. And then I have a little bag back here which has an extra tube. If I ever have a flat tire, a CO2 canister so I could fill the tire. And it's got little tools just to tweak the bike whenever. Okay, so recovery is probably, I think, the most important, because if you can recover after a big race or in training as fast as you can, then that means you have more time to train. Usually if my muscles are sore in my lower body, my legs, I would do an ice bath at night. That usually makes me feel pretty good. I also take branched chain amino acids. It's like in a drink form, and that helps with the recovery of my muscles. And I also make sure I stretch a lot, and foam roll is very important to make sure my muscles are loose. The night before a race, I would have a big dinner of pasta. That's for carbo loading. And I usually keep it really simple: olive oil, pasta, and baked salmon. And that's my go-to meal. And right before the race, the morning of, I usually have a banana, rice crackers with honey and peanut butter, and that usually gets me going. During a race, I have these energy gels. This has caffeine in it, so I usually take this before my race just to wake me up. No. All right, so these are all of the medals I've gotten. St. Anthony's last year, this is it right here, the one with the sun. Second race, Fort DeSoto, that's the finisher's medal. First place in that race, so that's this one right here. That's pretty cool. And Ironman, this one in Miami, that's a big medal. This one was the half marathon. Pretty cool. Never seen anything like this before, this medal. It's a paddleboard. And that's the finisher's medal, and this right here is the second place medal. So I'm currently racing for a team called Kennedy Law Racing, and I was first introduced to this club through purchasing my bike, which is from their shop, and they asked me if I wanted to join their club. When I'm not racing, I'm in band and I have a saxophone and I play that. I also go fishing sometimes. If I just want to stay indoors, I'll be watching River Monsters, my favorite show.